If seas rise, even just a meter or two, scientists say this country will vanish. How do you process that information? And where would you go if climate change wiped your country off the map? If you're Marshallese, there's a surprising answer. Arkansas. Springdale, to be exact.
Northwest Arkansas has the largest number of Marshallese in the continental United States.
Since the 1980s, the Marshallese have been coming to Springdale in search of jobs and education. The consulate tells me 10,000 Marshallese already live in this area. There are so many Marshallese here, there's actually a government consulate. And with climate change, more people are probably on the way.
A person called me and said, "Carmen, have you thought about climate change refugees?"
When there's a big wave coming, you can hear it all night long.
Cynthia grew up in Rita, a neighborhood on the water. She moved to Arkansas last year in part because of terrifying floods. Houses were washed away, and neighbors told me they woke up floating.
I feel safe here because I don't hear the scary sound of the ocean. I don't have to sleep and think about the wave coming in.
Cynthia's nephew Mark arrived in February, leaving his girlfriend and 2 children behind in the islands. He's trying to earn enough money to bring them here, far from the ocean.
They would have to come here to live here because if global warming keeps making the floods worse, in the long run, the Marshall Islands will disappear.
Cynthia and Mark live in a 3-bedroom apartment with 8 other family members. It sounds cramped, but that's kind of like home.
I'm used to sleeping with my children and my nieces, my nephews. That's how we usually sleep. That's how we get close to one another.
It's impressive just how much of the island culture survives in a landlocked place like Arkansas. This is a Kaimim, a child's first birthday party. It's maybe one of the most important celebrations in the Marshallese culture. It's a rite of passage and a celebration of survival. I was lucky enough to be invited to 2 Kaimims, one in the Marshall Islands and one in Arkansas.
If our country sinks, so much of our culture will go as well. There's no coconut trees, there's no breadfruit, bandanas, no reef fish. I mean, we're beginning to lose our culture with where we are.
Back in the Marshall Islands, I met the rest of Mark and Cynthia's family and had them send a video message. They suggested a song. It's called God Bless Marshall Islands. It's a farewell tune, I'm told, sometimes played at a funeral.
I really came here because of my children. And now that we're here, they can be safe, but I like to go back home.
For now, moving to Springdale is a choice for most Marshallese. But within our lifetimes, flooding associated with climate change could start forcing people out.
The impact would be that we will probably have a population explosion.
In other words, Springdale, Arkansas could become the new Marshall Islands.
We're just starting to build our foundation. How we start now will affect our future for our kids.
But here's the thing. If nothing changes, Marshallese kids won't have any choice about whether to move back to their home. Those islands, their country, won't exist. And that's my fault and yours if you're living in the industrialized world. It's up to us to cut carbon emissions and fast. Otherwise, what now is a climate migration will likely become a refugee crisis.
Sorry. You know, thinking about my father, whose body is there on Majuro, and all the loved ones, even though they pass away, but their bodies are there. If the islands sink, then it's like losing them forever.